If I wanted to go on writing romantic films, I would spend the rest of my life.
Would you stay, knowing life would always be a little bit worse?
Natalie. Come on, get a grip. You're the Prime Minister, for God's sake.
That triumphant, goofy dance by Hugh Grant, it almost didn't happen because he fought the director every step of the way. The most romantic scene, those cue cards, had to be reshot because it looked creepy.
So the director was like, look, you're making it look creepy. I'm like, it kind of is creepy. I mean, it's sweet, but it is kind of creepy.
Love Actually hits so hard because of unscripted moments, real heartbreak, and secrets nobody saw coming. These 20 behind-the-scenes secrets prove accidents turned this rom-com into a holiday legend. I'm starting with the most powerful scene in the movie. Number 1. Picture Karen in the bedroom, unwrapping that Joni Mitchell CD. She realizes it's not the necklace. Her husband's cheating. That quiet sob, pure heartbreak. The film's emotional core. Director Richard Curtis shot it wide like 4 weddings. No cuts, just Thompson walking in over and over.
It's a CD. Joni Mitchell, wow.
To continue your emotional education.
Yes.
She delivered raw sobs in multiple long takes. Crew called it an amazing feat. She channeled real vulnerability. No safety net of close-ups. That's why it destroys you every rewatch. The pain feels lived in, not acted. Does this scene get you hardest? That authenticity bled into other scenes too, like the forced normalcy she maintained at the school play. Number 2. That romantic moment when Jamie and Aurelia chase Pages into the water? The lake was not deep at all. It was only about 18 inches. For filming, Colin Firth and Lucia Moniz knelt and crawled along the bottom to make it look real.
Oh no, just leave them, please, they're not important. They're not worth it.
A massive wind machine blew so hard that nearly all the dialogue had to be re-recorded later because the original audio was unusable. And the bugs? They were no joke. Production was plagued by mosquitoes, and Firth's elbow swelled badly from bites. A crew member joked it got as big as 3 avocados. So that sweet lake pursuit? It's really knees and grit, not deepwater heroics. That effort, and the silly practical constraints, only adds to the charm of the moment. Ever laugh knowing they were scooting around like that? Production hacks like this fueled improv gold elsewhere too, like Grant's dance fix. Number 3. Fast forward to Sarah's quirky apartment. That crane shot revealing her bedroom balcony setup. A design inspired by Bridget Jones author Helen Fielding's Real Place. She finally pulls Carl in for that steamy makeout. Hands everywhere. Building heat. Then bam, the phone rings about her mentally struggling brother Michael. Interrupted bliss, right? Wild BTS scoop. Laura Linney and Rodrigo Santoro were both freshly dumped Heartbreak City. Linney spilled on The Graham Norton Show. They were slumped in the production van en route, moping over their reel splits. He had just been dumped, I had just been dumped. She turned to him. Well, all day long, we get to make each other feel better.
He had just been dumped, I had just been dumped. And I remember the day we were gonna go shoot this and we both sort of slumped in the van.
Boom. Real sadness poured into the kiss. Hands down, Linney bragged it was the film's best smooch. Sorry not sorry. Rodrigo, pre his 300 Gladiator glow-up, brought that raw hurt too. No acting required. Life scripted the tension. This authenticity wasn't isolated. It fed the whole ensemble vibe on set. Bill Nighy joked that the trailer park buzzed like a star-studded neighborhood. Liam Neeson Way, Emma Thompson Road, Hugh Grant Avenue. Rewatch now and spot the raw nerves. The hesitation in her eyes. The extra tenderness in his touch. That's the magic. No wonder the romances feel brutally authentic, not rom-com fluff. This real-life tension amplified everything, including the jewelry store guilt fest with Alan Rickman. Not just slow service, way deeper. You're picking up those vibes yet? Drop yes or no in comments. Did you catch the real spark first watch? The truest secret of this arc is that Sarah's choice to put her brother first is the ultimate act of selfless love in the film. Number 4. When Jamie leaves for the airport to propose to Aurelia, his niece yells, "I hate Uncle Jamie." It seems like a throwaway line, but it's actually a classic Richard Curtis inside joke.
I hate Uncle Jamie. I hate Uncle Jamie. I hate Uncle Jamie.
The film's scriptwriter, Emma Freud, confirmed that Curtis only named Colin Firth's character Jamie so that his niece could say that line. Why? Because his real-life brother is also named Jamie. It was a playful jab that made it into the final film. Number 5. Harry, Alan Rickman, slips into the jewelry shop to secretly buy that J necklace for his secretary Mia, a moment loaded with guilt and comedic tension. There, Rowan Atkinson's Rufus takes his sweet time wrapping the gift. adding flourish after flourish as Harry grows increasingly anxious about Karen returning. Director Richard Curtis shared that some of these takes stretched to about 11 minutes on set because Atkinson kept exploring different wrapping details, which drove Rickman's character hilariously insane and helped sell the scene's nervous energy. Behind the scenes, scripting for Rufus was originally a bit different. Emma Freud, the film's script editor, revealed via social posts that early drafts of the script cast Rufus as a sort of Christmas angel who would deliberately slow Harry down to prevent the ill-advised purchase.
Actually, I don't need a bag. I just put it in my pocket.
No, this isn't a bag, sir.
Really?
That supernatural bit was cut before the final release to keep the many storylines grounded in the movie's interwoven real-world romance feel. Rufus does still show up later in the film in a way that feels helpful, giving Sam a bit of unexpected assistance at airport security. And that echoes the original angelic concept even though it isn't explicit in the finished cut. So next time you watch that excruciatingly slow gift wrapping bit, remember, part of its charm comes from true improvisation, and an idea that nearly became literal in the film's early scripting. Yet it works beautifully in its final grounded form. Clues or coincidence? Number 6. Prime Minister David glides into that now iconic kitchen boogie to the Pointer Sisters' Jump for My Love after dealing with a diplomatic awkward moment, wiggling hips and all. It's a triumphant, goofy release that's become one of the film's signature feel-good moments. But behind the scenes, Hugh Grant really didn't want to do it. In interviews for ABC's The Laughter and Secrets of Love Actually 20 years later, Grant explained that when he first saw the dance in the script, he thought, well, I'll hate doing that. He didn't want to rehearse it at all.
And to this day, there's many people, and I agree with them, who think it's the most excruciating scene ever committed to celluloid. But then some people like it.
And director Richard Curtis admitted he kept saying no, and even joked that he hoped Grant would get ill so they could cut the sequence. Ultimately, Grant performed it because of what he called a contractual obligation. Grant also said he felt out of rhythm, especially at the start, which you can see in the slightly awkward moves. And that filming it was, in his words, excruciating. One fun piece of trivia he shared is that it was his idea for the Prime Minister's secretary to walk in and interrupt the dance, which gives the moment its abrupt and hilarious ending. So why is it iconic? Because his reluctance, that slight awkwardness, that lack of polish, actually helps sell the moment. It turns the Prime Minister into more of a relatable, cheeky everyman. That awkward authenticity is part of what made the scene stick in fans' minds and spawn countless memes and holiday clips. Does his reluctance make the dance even better for you? Number 7. Picture this. Midnight doorbell at Juliet and Peter's cozy home. Andrew Lincoln as Mark stands there, heart-pounding, holding those massive cue cards. To me, you are perfect. Keira Knightley opens the door, processes the silent confession from her husband's best friend, and gives him a quick goodbye kiss on the lips. This moment is the peak of unrequited love for many fans. But Keira Knightley, who was 17 during filming, has since revealed the tricky reality of shooting it. She has said that the early takes came across as a little creepy on set. Because of this, she and director Richard Curtis adjusted her facial reactions. Knightley said they were having to redo it to fix my face to make him seem not creepy.
As I was playing that scene and my face was sort of like that, and Richard, the director, was like, look, you're making it look creepy. I'm like, it kind of is creepy. I mean, it's sweet, but it is kind of creepy.
That careful balance is why the scene works, allowing the audience to debate forever if the gesture is romantic or risky. What's your take? Did you catch the creepy vibe before the fix? Number 8. Flashback to that VHS moment. Juliet hits play, and it's all her. Wedding smiles. No Peter in frame. Mark's secret obsession captured on tape.
Bit of editing. Look, I gotta get to a lunch. Early lunch. You can just show yourself out.
Pure gut punch reveal. But the cue card climax? Andrew Lincoln didn't fake the intimacy. He personally traced every single one in his own handwriting. He told Entertainment Weekly that the art department prepped stencils, but he insisted on using his own pen for that crisp, personal script. I like to think my handwriting is really good, he joked, confirming he poured Mark's bottled-up longing into the letters. This level of personal effort makes the whole arc hit harder. Unrequited love wasn't just a prop. It was poured from Lincoln's actual hand. Feels alive, yeah? Number 9. Sam's role as the lovelorn drummer almost went to a much different actor, Joe Alwyn. Before Thomas Brodie Sangster was cast, Alwyn went through several rounds of auditions and workshops, even meeting Hugh Grant and Richard Curtis. Ultimately, they decided to go with Brodie Sangster.
I know I should be thinking about Mum all the time, and I am. But the truth is I'm in love. And I was before she died. There's nothing I can do about it.
This casting decision was crucial, as Alwyn's presence would have completely changed the dynamic of the young love story. It's a classic Hollywood near-miss that would have forever altered the film's most innocent storyline. Number 10. Sam learns drums in secret, crushes hard on American Joanna, and races airport stairs for one last cheek peck. This is puppy love perfection. The screen screams a big age gap, right? Not really. Thomas Brody Sangster, Sam, was 12, and Olivia Olson, Joanna, was 10. The perceived gap comes from their height difference and Olson's powerful voice. Real tea.
I thought you didn't know my name. Of course I do. Oh, Jesus. Here, I've got to run.
Brody Sangster learned to play the drums for the film, and Olson's singing was so flawless that editors had to layer in breaths to make it sound more convincing for a kid. The most awkward part? The airport kiss marked Olson's first kiss ever, and she admitted to having a real crush on Thomas at the time. Fun fact, Olivia Olson and Thomas Brody Sangster were reunited years later as voice actors on the Disney show Phineas and Ferb. Number 11. Juliet curls up, pops in the VHS. Hat tugged low over her face as Mark's wedding footage rolls. Her every smile zoomed in. That cozy, vulnerable watch hits home. But why the hat? Keira Knightley spilled the truth to Jimmy Fallon in 2019. I got the biggest zit of my life, like another head growing out.
I got the biggest zit of my life when we were shooting this scene, and this scene was like, you know, it's the important one, isn't it? Because like
we were watching the wedding.
Yeah, so it was literally, it was like another head growing out of my head.
The makeup and lighting teams tried every trick, concealer, angles, but nothing worked. The hat was ultimately locked in as a practical solution. Knightley, who was only 17 during filming, confirmed there was nothing they could do. The result is a relatable win. Stars battle breakouts too. Ever covered a bad breakout for pictures? Drop your story below. Number 12. The hilarious scene where Colin, Chris Marshall, tries to flirt with a woman at a wedding by insulting the catering, only to find out she is the caterer, was not new.
In, by the way.
I'm Nancy.
Wicked. What do you do, Nancy?
I'm a cook.
Ever do weddings?
Yes, I do.
I should have asked you to do this one.
They did.
Director Richard Curtis admitted that he had written this exact scene for his earlier film, 4 Weddings and a Funeral, but it was cut from the final edit. He revived the scene for Love Actually, even joking that he forgot to change the character's name from Charles, Grant's character in 4 Weddings, to Colin in an early draft. This proves that sometimes a great piece of writing has to wait for the right movie to find its audience. Number 13. Billy Mack trash talks his own chart-topping remake of Christmas Is All Around, a nod to the Wet 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 song from Richard Curtis's 4 Weddings and a Funeral. But the washed-up rocker character almost went to someone else.
Christmas is all around me, and so the feeling grows.
Bill Nighy wasn't expecting to land the role. He only did a table read as a favor to the casting director. Curtis admitted he had 2 other big names in mind, but Nighy crushed Billy Mack's cynical swagger so perfectly that he was instantly cast. Nighy's commitment was immediate. He channeled real rock grit, and his scenes were shot quickly and mostly standalone, which is how he came up with the famous joke that the cast's trailer park was like a star-studded neighborhood. That deadpan promo interview? Pure Nighy. This casting surprise was similar to Martine McCutcheon's role, which Curtis wrote with her charm in mind. Number 14. Natalie, the Prime Minister's assistant, lights up the screen with her charm. That's Martine McCutcheon, and Richard Curtis wrote the part just for her. In fact, the character was named Martine in early script drafts. Curtis changed it to Natalie before the audition, but this wasn't unique.
Hello, Natalie.
Hello, David. I mean, sir. Shit, I can't believe I've just said that. And now I've gone and said shit.
Curtis also had Hugh Grant and Emma Thompson in mind for their roles from the very start. This pattern of tailor-made roles made the ensemble feel effortless, proving that sometimes casting is just about knowing exactly who you want. Number 15. Colin, Chris Marshall, flies to America in a desperate hunt for love, landing in a Wisconsin bar where he meets a group of women, including Jeannie, January Jones. The scene is awkward, funny, and full of rapid-fire banter.
He's from England.
Yep. Basildon.
Oh. Wait until Carol Ann gets here. She's crazy about English guys.
Uh-huh.
The secret. January Jones wrote a significant portion of her own lines. Script editor Emma Freud confirmed this in a tweet, and saying that Jones was so funny when we filmed that scene. Fellow actress Elisha Cuthbert also noted that the American cast was allowed to improvise and try different things, which gave the dialogue an authentic, off-the-cuff feel. The scene works because it feels like a real, chaotic, and drunken conversation, thanks to Jones's unscripted contribution. Number 16. Like the tailor-made roles, Richard Curtis stuffed the script with his own inside jokes. Remember Karen yelling at her child at the school play, calling him Horrid Bernard? It sounds like a throwaway line, but it's a recurring joke Curtis tucks into his scripts. A character named Bernard appears as an unpopular or ill-favored figure in many of his movies, including 4 Weddings and a Funeral and Notting Hill. The gag was inspired by a real-life rival from Curtis's university days, a man named Bernard Jenkin, who won the heart of a crush. This is a personal and playful connective thread Curtis likes to include. Spot all the Bernards on your next marathon. It keeps the script feeling like Curtis's private playground. Number 17. That iconic Heathrow montage, real hugs, kisses, everyday love framing the chaos, was shot with hidden cameras over a full week on actual passengers. Richard Curtis, who ranks it as his favorite part of the film, was inspired after spotting the emotion everywhere while stuck in a delay at LAX.
General opinion's starting to make out that we live in a world of hatred and greed. But I don't see that. Seems to me that love is everywhere.
The process was chaotic. Every time the hidden cameras caught a great moment, crew members had to rush out and ask the real-life passengers to sign a waiver to use the footage. Curtis said it ties every plot together, showing love hiding in normal faces. No staged actors, just pure slices of life. Those embraces feel truer every rewatch. Number 18. The script originally started with a massive 14 different love stories. Director Richard Curtis realized the film was too sprawling and called the editing process a bizarre 4-month game of 3D chess.
I can't remember how Love actually started. I think it may be that I decided that films take me such a long time. You know, they take about 3 years in the end.
4 plots were cut to hone the core of the film. Among the concepts that didn't make the final cut were 2 stories that were actually filmed but removed in editing. A vignette featuring an African couple discussing love, and a heartfelt storyline about a school headmistress and her long-term partner. Other concepts, like a subplot about a girl in a wheelchair, were dropped before filming began. Number 19. That unforgettable school play Wedding, filled with smiles, surprise musicians, and the Beatles' All You Need Is Love, wasn't just whimsical movie magic.
All you need is love. All you need is love.
Writer-director Richard Curtis based it on something deeply moving he once witnessed in real life. During the funeral for Jim Henson, the creator of the Muppets, Curtis attended a memorial service where fellow puppeteers brought their puppets and sang together in the cathedral. In the Love Actually commentary, Curtis explained that at the end of the service, one of Henson's collaborators began singing a song, and soon dozens of puppets were lifted up in unison, a sight he called extraordinary. That experience inspired Curtis when crafting the wedding scene. Rather than felt puppets rising, he imagined musicians and singers surprising the newlyweds with a spontaneous performance of All You Need Is Love, creating a joyful, celebratory moment that feels both personal and universal. It's a beautiful example of how real-life emotion, even from a moment of mourning, was transformed into one of the most joyful beats in the film. Number 20. Juggling 10 different storylines was brutal. While the film was not shot across 2 different Christmas seasons, the crew was committed to capturing the authentic holiday atmosphere of London. Filming was scheduled late in the year to harness the city's pre-Christmas feel, utilizing real locations, lights, and decorations. This commitment to realism, allowing the lived-in season to soak every frame, is why the film feels so eternal, not faked. Notice the chill realism now?
I decided that what I'd try and do is write 9 of them or 10 of them all at the same time.
It proves the filmmakers prioritized authentic locations and meticulous set dressing to build this heart, not just quick shortcuts. Love Actually's magic sparked from tears, flubs, and real-life hacks. Drop your fave secret below. And for more behind the scenes of iconic holiday films, check out the video I left right here on the left.